like I was for weeks. It was like why my records at the Ohio State University was still showing transcripts, I'm still absent. So I had to call someone that I knew in the records office, and when they checked, they were like they didn't even process anything. That they had not even seen that I had paid, and I was like, I had paid. I had to send in the proof, the evidence that I had paid, and then it was when that person intervened that they eventually sent the transcript. So when Dari was saying I had to press some buttons, that's a code for viewers to know that sometimes it's helpful when you go to the records office, make friends with people there. Just try to get to know them so that you can have their contact and you can always be calling them to check up. But if you just think you stay online, do all your stuff online, and you think everything will be fine, it might be fine, and that would be great. But the reality of our system right now is that sometimes you need people in house to help you follow up.
And I think it was even Dare that helped my sister self, like when she was doing her application. It was the contact that you had that she used then for her, to get her transcript. I mean, do you have any comments?
No, I don't have any comments to that.
Okay, okay. All right. So I guess, yeah. So my second question is, obviously I think we've even responded to this. Like, my second question is actually like, when you started the transcript process, did your initial opinion change? And I think I already spoke to this when he talked about how he had to go through a lot of stress, calling and getting in touch with the transcript office the second time he tried to apply. So I don't know, like, does anyone want to respond to that? Did your initial opinion change about the transcript application?
Uh,
Okay, I think Aminat was.
okay, Amina, please go ahead.
No, I didn't say anything.
I thought you unmuted your mic.
Okay, I'll just go. I guess
Okay,
I'll
yeah, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so for me, my when I started the process, my belief was that it was just going to be smooth. I just have to apply online and things get delivered. That's what I expected. I thought the system was that much efficient. That was my belief at first. But I haven't waited for months and realized things were not changing. I called, you're going to get the phone number online. You call the phone number, nobody ever picks the phone. If you send a message, if you send an email, you might not get a response at all from the email. So that was when it dawned on me how inefficient the transcript processing system in the university was. So I had to walk down into the university and try to make connections with people there. And even from the conversation that I had with her, that was when I realized the mentality of we are helping students to do this, that we are helping them to process transcripts. I realized how so much that mentality is in the university. Even when you go to the university to process your certificate, you see people that you are there to process certificates, and they're just going to sit down they're on Facebook, they're on YouTube, they're watching Yoruba movies online, and they tell you to just sit down somewhere. Someone might be eating. I've been to an office before to process a certificate, and it was around 9 a.m. And that was the point where they realized they had to do morning fellowship for like 30 minutes first before they then attend to us at all. We were even told to join the morning fellowship to participate before we could
Mad.
sign. Before we could, I'm very serious. Like before we could sign our form, I'm a Christian. I believe in the Lord Jesus. I believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But I don't believe that you would leave your home in the morning. After praying in your home in the morning, you come to work. First of all, you are already at the work very late. Secondly, it was now time for you to start morning devotion. I think that's a very, very bad, inefficient system. And that's very common. That's very common. So I begin to see the realities of how inefficient the whole system is, and how people think that this job is not really a customer service. It is a customer service job where the first impression that you give to someone that walk into that office, or for someone that called the phone and you're not picking up, it sends a bad signal, a bad reputation to the university. And I'm happy that a lot of students now, I'm really, really glad that they don't have to go through the same process, that they can just go online, log into the online profile, and download an unofficial copy. However, they have to prepare for the official copy part.
Yeah.
That is where they have to really prepare. If there's a deadline to submitting the official copy of their transcript, um, they have to be very, very vigilant. They have to look at the timeline, check their options, and if they have to walk into the transcript office and, whatever, just do it. Because if you lose your opportunity, it falls back to you and not to the university. If you get an admission with full scholarship and you lose it because the university did not send your official transcript, I'm sorry, you are the one that lost that opportunity, not the university. So you bear the consequences of the inefficient system that has been designed. So whatever way that you're going to make it efficient for yourself, I would advise that you do that. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that. Does anybody want to chime in?
I would just say that on the one hand, we've acknowledged the inefficiency of the system, but on the other hand, I also want to say that sometimes it's not just the fault of the people, right? Systems are bigger than people. If we think about it, like and it's what you said now, Musun, that is bringing this thought to my mind. Maybe those people really wanted to help, but they needed to walk through a lot of files and stuff, and it took them those maybe 2 weeks or thereabout to fix this thing. So it's really a systemic problem. If it was a situation where everything was digitized, right? Yeah, they responded to your email in one day, but they needed to sort through a lot of files, like because for a long time that system was hard copy driven. So it's like there's nothing anybody really could do if they have to go through piles of files before they can find what you want them to look for. So I think I'm just saying this so that we can also be gracious to the people who work in these offices, because they are also victims of an inefficient system, the way people who are applying for transcripts are. So I would just say, yes, they need to do better. They need to change their orientation in terms of not thinking they are helping people. But sometimes it's just like really there's only so much they can do when the system itself is not enabling for them to be efficient.
Thank you.
Kind of
Yeah.
passive aggressive thank you is that.
No, the reason I did that, I said that was because, I feel there's also this place of, human empathy as well. Like no matter what, and
Yeah, I
just
mentioned that now. I
doing
said they
your,
need to do better.
yeah, they need to do better. I guess like just to wrap things up, just what word of advice would you give to someone who is, applying for their transcripts?
Start early. Don't wait till it's time for for you to apply for admissions. Start early. Start when it's not an emergency, because like we've said over and over, the system is not that efficient. So yeah, don't shoot yourself in the foot basically by thinking, oh, when it's time I will go and do it. Start early, and yeah.
Thank you.
For me, I would follow up with where Coyote stopped and say, not just start early, track it. Track it, follow up with it. Don't just start early. Sometimes Sometimes I currently have an experience with a friend that applied for, I believe, a transcript in February, and up till now, this is December, nothing has been sent. It was until, I think it was until August of this year. And this particular person that I'm telling you about lost his admission. This particular person lost his admission. It was until, I think, August that he went. I just advised him, like, you have to go. You have to go and find out what's going on. And it was at that point that he told me that they said he was missing a document. He was missing a document, and that was why they did not process it. They did not call him. They did not send him an email to notify him that he was missing a document that they would use to process this transcript. So although we can say he applied early because that's February till now, however, nothing has happened. If he had not followed up with it, he would not have known by himself that he was missing a document. So not just apply early, follow up with it. Follow up to make sure that it has been sent. If it has not been sent, go to the transcript office. Go there. They might tell you, this is not the perfect time. Be smiling, smile as much as you can, be friendly as much as you can, but go to the transcript office and try to follow up there, especially when it is getting too close to the deadline. Remember that if your transcript is sent, especially abroad, it's going to take some days for the transcript to be delivered. So if you have a deadline, you have to give yourself leeway. Remember that they might not even have started processing the transcript, and the whole process, the procedure for the processing might also take weeks within the school. So if you have a month deadline, that might actually be the best time to walk into the transcript office and try to talk to someone, because that would give you about 2 weeks. Hopefully they can process it within 2 weeks, then send it, and then you still have about 1 week in between the deadline. Start early, give yourself time, follow up with it. Don't shoot yourself in the leg. If you miss an opportunity, you bear the consequences, not the University of Lagos. University of Lagos does not even know that you're applying for a school in Russia, or you're applying to whatever country that you're applying to. They don't know. It is you that know, and it is you that will bear the consequences. So take it serious. Thank you.
Thank you.
I
I
mean,
mean, they've said it all. They've said it all. So there's nothing else to say. Just that early follow up and track it. That's the only advice we can give for now.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, so that's the end of. Oh, yes. Please go ahead, Dari.
I just want to share the surprising story. If we share the bad story, let's share the good one as well. And the good one is, just recently, another friend of mine applied for transcript. And surprisingly, it's the biggest surprise that I've had so far. A transcript was processed within 1 month.
Wow.
Without knowing anyone or following up with anybody in the office. She did approach me, but I was too busy to follow up or whatsoever. And surprisingly, it was delivered literally within 1 month. Does that mean the system is efficient now? No one can say. But there are some unique cases that the process just flows smoothly. So that is a good story. Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing. And I think that we get things done because there's this thing called fractals, like every little bit matters, right? So every little bit, from the person that ensures that the records or the students' results are well computed. So from the person that ensures that the results are well computed, to the person that collates the results, and then to the people that send it to the transcript office and also the records office, for them to ensure that every student's result and transcript is already available. Even if they don't request for their transcript, it should be available, so that by the time students request for transcripts, like within 1 week, the process will be complete. So thank you all. Thank you so much. I had a great time. I hope you did as well. And yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
all.
hosting us.
Thank you all. So see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.